Hey everyone, and welcome to the Gold IRA Blueprint Podcast. We're here to help you American retirees navigate the world of gold IRAs
Yes,
and protect your financial future,
absolutely.
especially in these uncertain
It
times.
is really a very uncertain.
We'll be unpacking some insights from a guide on navigating gold IRA investments.
You got it.
So grab your favorite beverage, settle in, and get ready for a deep dive.
Looking forward to it. And if you're eager to start exploring, don't forget to visit goldirablueprint.com/exclusive
Okay,
for a free checklist
that's great.
to help you choose the right gold IRA company.
That's a great resource.
Huh.
Okay, let's dive into why gold IRAs are gaining so much traction these days.
Mm,
The guide really stresses the importance of portfolio diversification for retirees.
yeah,
It makes you think, doesn't it?
for sure.
We're always told not to put all our eggs in one basket.
That's right. That's right.
That's a fundamental principle of financial planning,
Right.
especially for retirement.
Right. Diversifying across different asset classes is crucial for managing risk, particularly during economic downturns.
Makes sense.
We all know how volatile stocks and bonds can be, and relying solely on those can be unsettling as we approach retirement.
That's a point that really resonated with me.
Oh.
I mean, we've all seen how market fluctuations can impact retirement savings.
For sure.
So how can a gold IRA provide that sense of security retirees are looking for?
Well, what's fascinating about gold is its historical resilience.
Hmm.
It's often seen as a safe haven asset,
Right.
something that tends to hold its value or even increase in value when other markets are struggling.
I see.
It's a way to potentially offset losses in other areas of your portfolio and maintain stability during turbulent times.
So it's not about chasing quick profits with gold,
Right.
but rather about creating a more stable foundation for your retirement savings.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
Think of it as a form of financial insurance, a way to protect your hard-earned savings from the unpredictable nature of the markets. And that peace of mind can be invaluable as you enter retirement.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. But before we go any further, let's break down what a gold IRA actually is.
Right.
Can you explain it in simple terms for those who might be unfamiliar with this type of investment?
Absolutely. A gold IRA is essentially a self-directed IRA
Yeah.
that allows you to invest in physical precious metals, gold, silver, platinum, and palladium as part of your retirement savings.
So instead of holding stocks or bonds in your IRA, you're holding actual physical gold.
Precisely. And that's a key distinction from traditional IRAs. It's not about paper assets, it's about owning tangible assets that have intrinsic value. This gold is then securely stored in an IRS-approved depository, so
Right.
you don't have the hassle or risk of storing it yourself.
That's interesting. So you get the benefits of owning physical gold without the worry of keeping it safe at home.
Exactly.
But what about the tax implications? Are those the same as with a traditional IRA?
That's where it gets really interesting. You still get the same tax advantages as with traditional IRAs. You can choose between a traditional gold IRA where your contributions are tax deferred, or a Roth Gold IRA, where your contributions are made with after-tax dollars, and your withdrawals in retirement are tax-free.
It's a good point. It's not a one-size-fits-all approach.
Right,
You have options depending on your individual financial goals and tax situation.
exactly. And it's always wise to consult with a financial advisor to determine which type of gold IRA aligns best with your overall retirement plan.
Okay, so we've covered the basics of what a gold IRA is and the tax benefits it offers.
Yes.
But why is gold specifically such an appealing asset for retirees?
Right.
It seems like the guide highlights some unique benefits beyond just being a stable investment.
Yeah,
Can we unpack those a bit?
absolutely. Let's delve into some of the key benefits outlined in the guide.
Great.
One of the most compelling aspects of gold is its historical track record as a hedge against inflation. Unlike paper currencies, which can be devalued by governments printing more money, gold has maintained its purchasing power over centuries.
So even if we see significant inflation, as many economists are predicting,
Right.
gold is likely to hold its value.
That's the idea. It can help you maintain your standard of living even if the prices of goods and services rise significantly. This is especially important for retirees who are on a fixed income and need to protect their purchasing power.
That's reassuring.
Yeah.
No one wants to see their hard-earned savings eroded by inflation, especially during retirement.
Of course not.
What other advantages does the guide highlight?
Well, another key benefit is gold's performance during times of geopolitical turmoil or economic uncertainty.
Okay.
Think back to historical periods of conflict, recessions, or financial crises.
Hmm.
Gold often becomes a safe haven for investors, something they flock to when traditional markets are volatile.
So it's almost like a flight to safety.
Exactly. During those uncertain times, gold often sees a surge in demand,
Right.
which can drive up its value.
Makes sense.
This can be particularly beneficial for retirees seeking to safeguard their savings amidst global instability.
That makes sense. Knowing you have something that's likely to hold its value no matter what's happening in the world can provide a sense of security,
Yeah,
especially during retirement when you're no longer actively earning income.
right.
But is there any historical data to back up this claim that gold is a stable, long-term investment?
Absolutely. If you look at the long-term price trend of gold, it's consistently shown an upward trajectory over time.
Okay.
Yes, there are short-term fluctuations, as with any investment, but the overall direction has been positive. This long-term growth potential makes it an attractive option for those looking to steadily grow their retirement nest egg.
So it's not just about protection, but also about the potential for growth over the long term.
Yeah,
That's a powerful combination.
it is.
And let's not forget the diversification aspect we talked about earlier.
Right.
Adding gold to your portfolio can reduce your reliance on stocks and bonds,
That's right.
which, as we know, can be quite volatile.
For sure.
Gold often moves independently of those markets. So even if they take a hit, your gold holdings might be less affected.
Exactly.
That's a compelling argument for diversification. It's about spreading your risk and creating a more balanced portfolio that can weather different economic conditions.
You got it.
But I'm sure some listeners are thinking, this all sounds great, but are there any downsides or hidden costs associated with gold IRAs?
Right.
It seems like anything that sounds too good to be true, usually.
Yeah, you're right to be cautious.
Yeah.
It's always important to be aware of potential drawbacks and to separate fact from fiction.
Right.
And that's why I think the guide does a great job of addressing some of the common misconceptions surrounding gold IRAs.
Okay, so let's debunk some of those myths. What's the first one we should tackle?
Well, one common misconception is that gold IRAs are just too expensive
Okay.
for the average investor. People assume the costs associated with setting one up and maintaining it
Yeah.
are significantly higher than traditional IRAs, but that's often not the case.
So it's more about perception than reality.
Exactly. The costs of a gold IRA are often quite comparable to those of traditional IRAs.
I see.
The key is to do your research, compare providers, and really understand their fee structure.
Right.
Don't let assumptions deter you from exploring this option.
That's good advice. It's always wise to shop around and compare costs before making any financial decision.
For sure.
What's another common myth we should address?
Unfortunately, there are scams out there targeting retirees interested in gold.
Oh, wow.
It's a sad reality, but unscrupulous individuals prey on those seeking to protect their savings.
That's concerning. How can listeners differentiate between legitimate gold IRA providers and those looking to take advantage of retirees?
That's where due diligence comes in. First and foremost, look for providers with a solid track record.
Okay.
Positive customer reviews and accreditations from reputable organizations like the Better Business Bureau.
Okay.
Don't be afraid to ask tough questions about their experience, their storage facilities, and their insurance coverage.
So transparency is key.
Yes.
A reputable provider should be open and willing to answer all your questions.
Absolutely. If a provider is hesitant to provide detailed information or is pushing you to make a quick decision, that's a red flag.
Right.
Take your time, do your research, and choose a company that prioritizes transparency and customer education.
Excellent advice. Now, I've also heard people express concerns about the liquidity of gold.
Yeah.
They worry that it's not easy to sell
Right.
if you need access to your funds quickly. Is there any truth to that?
That's a valid concern, and it's important to understand how the process works. While gold is a liquid asset,
Right.
selling it does involve a specific process.
Right.
It's not as simple as selling stocks or bonds through an online brokerage account.
So you can't just instantly cash out your gold holdings if an unexpected expense arises.
Not exactly. It typically involves working with a dealer to sell your gold,
Okay.
and there might be a short waiting period for the transaction to settle.
I see.
However, it's important to remember that gold is a globally traded commodity with a robust market.
So it's not like you're stuck with an illiquid asset that's difficult to sell.
Not at all. And if liquidity is a major concern for you,
Okay.
it's worth discussing this with a financial advisor who can guide you through the process and ensure you have a plan in place should you need quick access to your funds.
That's a great point. It's always wise to have a strategy in place for unexpected events. Okay. So we've addressed some of the common misconceptions.
Right.
Now, for those who are intrigued by the idea of a gold IRA and want to explore this option further, What are some key considerations when choosing a provider?
That's a great question. And the guide offers some really helpful tips for navigating this process.
Hmm.
It boils down to a few key factors. As we've already discussed, reputation is paramount.
Yeah.
Look for providers with a solid history, positive customer feedback, and accreditations from reputable organizations.
It's all about doing your homework and choosing a partner you can trust.
Exactly. You're entrusting them with a significant portion of your retirement savings.
Right.
So you want to make sure they're a reputable and reliable company.
Makes sense.
Another crucial factor is transparency in fees.
Okay.
Make sure you understand their complete pricing structure before signing up.
Right.
Compare different providers and see what fees they charge for opening and maintaining the account,
Okay.
as well as any transaction fees associated with buying or selling gold.
So it's not just about the initial setup costs,
Right.
but also about ongoing fees and
Yep.
potential transaction costs.
You got it. And lastly, don't underestimate the importance of excellent customer service.
Okay.
You want a provider who is responsive, helpful, and willing to guide you through every step of the process.
Hmm.
They should be there to answer your questions, address any concerns you might have, and provide ongoing support throughout your journey with the Gold IRA.
It sounds like you're emphasizing the importance of finding a true partner, not just a transactional service provider.
Absolutely. A Gold IRA is a long-term investment.
Right.
And you want to work with a company that values your business, understands your needs, and is committed to your success.
That makes a lot of sense. And speaking of partners, I want to remind our listeners about that free checklist available at goldirablueprint.com/exclusive.
Yes.
This checklist can be incredibly helpful when you're comparing different Gold IRA companies and trying to choose the right one for you.
It's an invaluable resource, especially if you're feeling overwhelmed by all the information out there. It breaks down the key considerations in a clear and concise way, making it easier to compare providers and make an informed decision.
Excellent. Now, let's move on to some real-world examples.
Okay.
The guide features some compelling case studies of retirees who've benefited from investing in Gold IRAs. I think these stories can really bring the benefits to life and show how these investments can make a tangible difference. What's the first story we have?
Let's start with John's story. He's a 62-year-old retiree from Florida who had most of his retirement savings in traditional assets like stocks and bonds.
Oh.
When the market crashed back in 2020, he lost a significant portion of his savings.
Oh, wow.
It was a devastating blow, especially so close to retirement.
That's heartbreaking. It's a stark reminder that even well-planned retirement portfolios can be vulnerable to unexpected market events.
It is.
So many people were caught off guard by that downturn. Did John ever recover from those losses?
That experience really shook him and made him realize the need to diversify his portfolio and find a way to protect his remaining savings from future volatility. That's what led him to explore gold IRAs.
So he saw it as a way to create a more stable foundation for his retirement savings.
Exactly. He wanted to add an asset that wouldn't be as affected by market swings and could potentially offset losses in his other investments.
Makes sense.
And since investing in a gold IRA, his gold holdings have actually increased in value, providing him with a sense of stability and peace of mind.
That's fantastic. It sounds like he found a solution that aligned with his risk tolerance and his desire for a more secure retirement. What about our other case study? What can we learn from Sally's experience?
Sally's story is equally compelling. She's a 70-year-old retiree who is deeply concerned about inflation eroding her retirement savings. She'd worked hard her entire life and wanted to make sure her money would last throughout her retirement years.
Inflation is a huge concern for retirees, especially those on a fixed income. The rising costs of healthcare, housing, and everyday essentials can really impact your quality of life in retirement.
You're absolutely right. And Sally was proactive about addressing this concern.
Okay.
She decided to move a portion of her IRA into gold as a hedge against inflation,
Right.
and it turned out to be a smart move.
Good for her.
Over the past few years, as inflation has risen, her gold holdings have grown significantly, helping her maintain her purchasing power and preserve her hard-earned savings.
So John found stability and peace of mind after experiencing a market crash, and Sally protected her purchasing power during a period of rising inflation. These stories really demonstrate how gold IRAs can be a valuable tool for retirees facing different economic challenges.
They do. And they highlight the importance of being proactive and exploring different options to make sure your retirement savings are positioned to weather any storm. It's about taking control of your financial future and not simply hoping for the best.
That's a powerful message. It's about empowerment and taking ownership of your financial destiny. It sounds like you're saying that a gold IRA isn't a get-rich-quick scheme,
You're right.
but rather a long-term strategy for
Exactly.
protecting and growing your wealth.
Exactly. It's about creating a more resilient portfolio that can weather economic storms
Right.
and provide you with a sense of security in your retirement years.
So we've covered a lot of ground today. We
Yeah.
talked about the current economic landscape,
Mm-hmm.
the basics of gold IRAs,
Mm-hmm.
the potential benefits and misconceptions, and we even heard some inspiring real-life success stories.
For sure.
As we wrap up this deep dive,
Right.
what are some key takeaways you hope our listeners will remember?
Well, I want to reiterate that securing your retirement savings is more critical than ever in today's world. With market volatility, inflation concerns, and geopolitical uncertainty on the rise,
Right.
it's essential to explore options that can help you safeguard your financial future and maintain your hard-earned standard of living.
And it sounds like gold IRAs offer a potential solution by providing stability,
Yes,
potential growth and diversification within a retirement portfolio.
that's right.
It's not about putting all your eggs in one basket, so to speak,
Right.
but rather about spreading your risk and creating a more balanced approach.
Precisely. And it's important to remember that gold IRAs aren't just for the wealthy or financially savvy.
Okay?
They're accessible to anyone who's looking for a way to protect their savings
Right.
and build a more secure retirement.
That's an important point. It's about empowering everyone to take control of their financial destiny, regardless of their income level or investment experience.
Absolutely. And while gold IRAs can be a valuable tool,
Okay.
I want to emphasize the importance of approaching this decision with knowledge and careful consideration.
Yep.
Don't just jump into something without understanding the implications. Do your research, consult with a trusted financial advisor, and choose a reputable provider who can guide you through the process.
I think that's a great takeaway. Knowledge is power.
For sure.
The more you understand about gold IRAs, the better equipped you'll be to navigate this landscape and make choices that align with your retirement goals and your peace of mind.
It is.
Okay, before we wrap up,
Right.
is there any final thought-provoking question or idea you'd like to leave our listeners with?
Sure.
Something to ponder as they continue exploring this option.
I think the most important question to ask yourself is this. Knowing the benefits of diversification and the potential risks of relying solely on traditional assets, what steps can you take today to ensure your retirement savings are well positioned to weather any storm? It's about being proactive and taking ownership of your financial future.
Wow, that's a powerful question. It really challenges us to think critically about our retirement plans and not just assume everything will work out on its own. It's about taking action and making informed decisions that align with our long-term goals.
Exactly. It's about creating a future where you feel confident and secure,
Right.
knowing that you've taken steps to protect your hard-earned savings and build a solid foundation for your retirement years.
Well said. And for those ready to take that first step, don't forget to visit goldirablueprint.com/exclusive for that free checklist
Right.
that can help you choose the right gold IRA company. It's a great resource to have as you embark on this journey.
It's a fantastic tool that breaks down the key considerations in a simple and easy to understand way that can really help you navigate the process of choosing a provider and make an informed decision that's right for you.
This has been an incredibly insightful deep dive into the world of gold IRAs. Thank you so much for joining us today and sharing your expertise. It's been an absolute pleasure exploring this topic with you.
The pleasure was all mine. I always enjoy having these conversations and helping people make informed decisions about their financial future.
And to our amazing listeners, thank you for tuning in. We hope this deep dive has empowered you with the knowledge and confidence to take control of your retirement savings and create a brighter future for yourselves. Remember, the future is what we make it, so let's make it a secure and prosperous one.